To accelerate. Yeah. Come on. I'm conquering ground. No time to hesitate. My eyes on you. Time to accelerate. I'm conquering ground. No time to hesitate. My eyes on you. Time to accelerate. I stand up for your word, your truth. No matter what may come my way, all things are working for my good. You've given me the victory. to accelerate. Yeah. Come on. I'm conquering ground. No time to hesitate. My eyes on you. Time to accelerate. I'm conquering ground. No time to hesitate. My eyes on you. Time to accelerate. I stand up for your word, your truth. No matter what may come my way, all things are working for my good. You've given me the victory. I'm serving the God of me. In Him I be so unstoppable, triumphant by His holiness. Somebody say it's time to celebrate. Oh, nothing's stopping me now. It's time to celebrate. With Your Spirit in me, nothing's holding me down. I keep on moving. Oh, be the master plan.
Welcome everybody to this conference, the International Conference of Stars 2021. Sorry, we're starting 30 minutes behind schedule. We've been having a lot of technical back and forth here, and we just have to tidy up everything before we kick off so there won't be any delay in between. All right, you are all welcome to this third edition of the International Conference of Stars. We'll be having 7 speakers from different nations all over Africa, and of course, we're having 30 brand ambassadors are behind us, holding it down, right? Making sure that we are on the right path. Okay, so our first speaker is already on ground. He's waiting in the room already, like he's supercharged to get the show off the road. Okay, but before I let him out, before I unveil who this person is, then I need to tell you a little about him. And I won't be saying it with my mouth. I'll be showing you a video that would explain who this person is, who we're going to see in a jiffy. All right, so just stick around while I take you through the profile of our first speaker for today. From wherever you're watching from, Nigeria, Ghana, Yugoslavia, Pakistan, Philippines, UAE, I'm sure we are all here. And you can see the comment section is really bubbling. All right, so for us to just start, I'll do a little introduction of whoever we'll be having right now. He's a very, very handsome, good young man, and the profile will do justice to who he is. And after this profile, we'll have him here to speak to us. So give me a sec while I give you a rundown of who we'll be having here to. I don't want to say tonight because it might not be night where you are, all right? Today, yeah, all right? Whether it's evening or it's afternoon or it's night where you are, whatever it is, we're going to have a nice time all together, all right? So just give me a sec. I will introduce him in a jiffy. So we'll meet the man who will be opening up the show to us today. His name is Teke Samuel, but I'm sure you might not, most of us might not know who he is. A couple of us in Africa already know who he is. But those around the world don't know who Teke Samuel is. So just enjoy the video where we get to explain who Teke Samuel is. All right, so let's get it on the road.
Teke Samuel is a Cameroonian-born businessman, entrepreneur, business coach, community leader, TV personality, author, and peace builder, whose success and impact has made the headlines of all Cameroonian news outlets in the last 4 years. With a burning desire to set people free from the binding forces of poverty, hunger, unemployment, lack of opportunities, which has led many youth into the acts of violence and many illegal practices. He spent all his life devouring any book that talked on business, wealth creation, the principles of success, startups, investment, amongst others, to build a system that will make enough wealth to provide opportunities and employment for young people. This dynamic young man in 2017 started an agro-investment company called Tex Global and Value Chain Services, a multi-million company which in the last 4 years has had wide coverage in 3 continents, Africa, America, and Europe. With his constant statement of "there is nothing impossible for the mind that sees," he is today the founder and CEO of Tex Group of Companies, which is a group of 7 companies and 1 non-profit arm, Tex Global and Value Chain Services, Tex Tidia, Global Eposi, Shep Academy, Global Janitorial Services, Tex Resources, Tex Breed, and Tex Global Foundation, providing innovative solutions to food insecurity to most vulnerable groups. He has employed over 1,000 youths and raised over 100 entrepreneurs. He is also the author of one of the most talked about financial books in Africa called The Billionaire Mindset, and he has dedicated the rest of his life preaching the message of financial freedom and redirecting steps to purpose. He is Mr. Teke Samuel Mujongi, also known as Mr. Disruptor.
All right, that's his profile. I'm sure you see it's quite loaded. So this man is not just an ordinary man. He's a great man who has been doing a lot of stuff in Africa, and he'll be here to share his ideologies, how best we can also scale up what he has been doing from his own end. He wants to impart knowledge. He wants to transform Africa. That's his job, and this is that platform where all that happened. All right, so we are pleased to have him right here with us, and in a sec, he will be joining us live. So with a round of applause, let me see that applause in the comment section. Let's welcome Teke Samuel. Welcome, Teke Samuel. Nice to have you here. Yeah, you can unmute your mic so we can have you, please.
Mr. Hollis, I want to say a big thank you first to Mr. Hollis Idabo for this wonderful initiative, and to his entire team for putting up this together. I'm excited. Like you heard, my name is Teke Samuel, and I'm a Cameroonian and a proud African at that. Like I will always say, to be an African is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I think if you are an African, that should be one of the best things that has ever happened to you. So I'm excited and I'm glad to be here. And for everyone joining us, I think something big and great is coming our way. ICOS 2021 should be a platform that will take people to another level by the time they get into the end of this year. So I'm sure this period between now and the end of this program should everyone that is a part of this program should dedicate it wholeheartedly to learn, to relearn, and to practice. Because the problem we have mostly among the African youth is that we learn a lot, but practicing what we have learned is the problem. And that is the reason why most of us have been where we are today. But like we say, it's never too late. There's always time to pick up a new idea and then decide to put it up in practice. So today we're going to figure out something. What are we supposed to do? We are looking at igniting the entrepreneurial spirit in the African youth. A lot of people talk about entrepreneurship. As a matter of fact, what is actually trending in the African context today or in the world around today is entrepreneur. Anybody you see, they say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, and everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. An amazing idea, beautiful. The word is awesome. It's easier to call, easier to spell, easier to adopt it to yourself. But the question is, do we really, really know what that word is? If you say you're an entrepreneur, do you know what you are actually bringing to yourself? Mr. Loveday, I love your smile. I think you are really making the day to be lovely.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you
so
very much. So
basically, I run an agricultural business. That's where I started from. I started from running an agricultural business before I went into education, before I went into IT, the technology, before I went into other services. And why I chose agriculture is because that is the first thing I could easily access as an African. And why I could easily access that is because that was the solution that was nearer to me as a Cameroonian and as an African. Why I say a solution? Because there was a problem. So I'll start by explaining to you my understanding of the word entrepreneur and how I defined it to the simplest term to everybody. My definition for entrepreneurship or an entrepreneur is someone who solves a problem with a profit in mind. So basically speaking, an entrepreneur is a problem solver. If you want to scale in life, one of the things you should be thinking of doing is how to solve a problem. No human being on planet Earth will want to give you their money for free, except you solve a problem for them. And when you solve a problem for humanity, they can give you any amount of money, especially when the solution you are providing for them has value that is worth more than the money they are keeping in their hands. I always say this to my trainees when I talk to people. I tell them that price only becomes a problem in the absence of value. So when we talk about the entrepreneurship spirit, we are talking about a mindset, a concept, or an approach toward of thinking, a kind of way where you program yourself to think towards providing a solution to people's problems. So every entrepreneur is a problem solver or a solution bringer. If you're not ready to solve problems for people, forget about the word entrepreneurship. I've also heard people say things like, everybody must not be an entrepreneur. Amazing, wonderful concept. But my question is, should everybody be a problem solver? If everybody must not be a problem solver, then I can agree with you that everybody must not be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is not a businessman, or entrepreneurship does not really mean that go into business. It's far away, is far from buying and selling. Entrepreneurship is beyond buying and selling. Entrepreneurship is responsibility. Entrepreneurship is problem solving. Entrepreneurship is leadership. So if you are getting into this journey and you live in the 21st century, you must understand that entrepreneurship is part of your calling. Now, nobody should say that some people were born entrepreneurs and some were not. Every one of us are born the way we are born, to learn to solve problems and become entrepreneurs in our own field. You might not be a business owner or a company owner, but you might be a career person working for an organization. You are an entrepreneur in that area where you are working. So let's say you are an accountant. You are a business person in that field as an accountant. Why? Because you are solving problems for people. Anytime you find yourself in a position where you are solving problems, you are providing solution for people, you are an entrepreneur in that sector, in that area. Whether you are a career person, you are a business person, you are selling, whatever it is that you are doing, see yourself as an entrepreneur. Why is this important? If you see yourself as an entrepreneur in that area, you will have a sense of responsibility in carrying out your duties. Why do we have a lot of employees who misbehave around? Because they don't think that it is their responsibility to make that stuff work. So all they do there is they want to get their salary at the end of the month and they go. But when you see yourself as an entrepreneur, as a problem solver in that area, you begin to figure out ways of making, for example, the accounting sector to be better off than what it is. If you are a teacher, you begin to think of how do you solve the little menaces that teachers are, that is woven around the teaching department. If you are a banker, as an entrepreneur, see yourself as an entrepreneurial banker. You can think of how do you solve certain problems that is moving around the banking sector. So everyone should see themselves as entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter what they are doing, whether you are a nurse, you are a banker, you are an accountant, a lawyer, whatever it is you're doing, you are an entrepreneur. Now, like I said, entrepreneurship is a mindset, it's a spirit, it's an attitude, it's a character. So every human being on earth must be able to build that character, that entrepreneurship character or attitude or spirit if we have to survive in our various fields of endeavors. So when I started my journey as a business person, basically it was because I have a lot of burden based on where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a wonderful background. And there are a lot of questions that I need answers to, and nobody was ready to provide it for me. But thank God I got exposed into information. I got exposed into people who have gone through certain things that I also went through, and I learned a lot, and I decided to start solving these problems. The first issue is that I came out from a hunger-striking family, poverty-striking home. Everybody was hungry. Poverty was a norm in my community. Everybody was broke. And when I moved around, I discovered that the way we live in my community is different from the way others live in their communities. They live well, they live good. I could see money in other communities, but there's no money in my community. So that was a problem for me, and I needed to solve it. So the moment I picked up the responsibility to solve a problem, I had to start thinking, what am I supposed to do? So I decided to start solving a problem. And how do I solve this problem? It's easier for me to live if I have food to eat. So I decided to go into agriculture because I cannot even talk about money if I don't have, if my tummy is not filled up. So I started solving the problem of agriculture in my community. It was agriculture that brought me to this level. Now I looked at my environment, and the only thing I could easily access without needing to bribe anybody was to go to the farm. So I started exploiting the lands, and now discover that one of the greatest gifts that God has given to humanity is the land, is soil. So I made good use of land, and it got us to the level where we are right now. Then my mind opened up, and I realized that even kings can give us money if we are able to solve a problem for them. Because every one human being on earth is having a problem. So if you want to be a champion in your world as a young entrepreneur or as an entrepreneur coming, you want to be a champion in your world, figure out a problem for kings, figure out a problem for the average man, and figure out a problem for the low class people. Now, I got a solution that could solve a problem for all the categories of people on earth: the poor, the low class, the middle class, and the upper class. Every one of these people needed to eat food. Every one of them is hungry in some point in their lives. So I decided to be a solution to their hunger problem. And that was it. So if you have to grow, the first thing you need to do is I have to solve a problem. Now, next question is, what problem am I going to solve? If you find out the problem you're going to solve, the next thing you have to ask yourself is, to whom am I going to solve this problem to? So look at your community. The idea you have been able to generate, to create in your head, find out in your community, do they actually need that solution? Is it a problem they are suffering? If no, then go around, make more research, figure out where your solution is needed. Because especially in Africa, most people are solving problems, are providing solutions, and nobody have that problem. Most people are providing solutions to problems that nobody is having in their community. So when you sit and create an idea and think of a solution, what you find out is who needs this solution. If you can't find anybody in your community, go to the next community, go to the next country, figure out who can I provide my solution to. And definitely, if your idea is great, if your idea is awesome, you're definitely going to see someone who will be needing you. So I started by providing food problem to people, and I got almost everybody rushing down to me because everybody wants to eat at one point in time. So first thing you have to do as an entrepreneur is that you shouldn't forget that the journey of entrepreneurship is not an overnight job. It's not something you do overnight and you succeed in the next morning. It requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of energy has to be in place. So you have to be ready to pay the price if you have to scale through as an entrepreneur. If you have to scale through as an African entrepreneur, because first to start with, the African system has been corrupted. So while we are growing in Africa, we are taught, or we grew up with the mentality that Africa is hard, Africa is difficult, and Africa is terrible. And if you have to survive in Africa as an entrepreneur, as a young entrepreneur in Africa, you need to be ready to make out sacrifices. You need to be ready to make out sacrifices. The sacrifice you're going to make, number one, is that you are going to make a sacrifice of self-determination. By self-determination, I mean you are going to decide within yourself and make a decision that you are going to survive or succeed in this journey no matter what. Number two, you are going to change your mindset and become so optimistic that if anybody should succeed, that person should be you. Because the concept that we live in Africa requires people with a disruptive mind. There are two types of human beings that live on planet Earth: the disruptors and the disrupted. So you decide which one you want to be. But if you want to be among the class of the entrepreneurs, you have to make a decision to become the disruptor. Because if you don't decide to be the disruptor, then you will be disrupted. And the disrupted are the ones that are the victims. So the African context requires people with a very rugged mentality. You can't be an average person in Africa and you still expect to write your names in the rocks of life. If you have to survive, if you have to make it, if you have to scale through, you have to develop a rugged mentality. So the African entrepreneur is not a wishy-washy person. The African entrepreneur is someone with a rugged mentality. So what are you supposed to do? You have to make a self-determination to succeed. Number two, you should be willing to take risk. There is nobody on earth that will survive in the business world who is not able to take risk. So you have to be ready to take the risk. You have to be ready to get in, do whatever you can do as long as it's morally right. Make sure that you put your morale in place while you take your journey into your entrepreneurship success. The next thing you have to do is that you have to learn to be innovative. Learn to be innovative. I'm going to explain this. We have a problem in Africa. The African entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs in Africa, we have a problem. The problem is this, that we always want to invent new things. We want to create our own things from space so that they know, hey, I've started my own, I'm the originator of this idea. But let me humble you by telling you this. There is no new idea from nowhere. All you have to do is to innovate on already existing protocols, build on them, edit them, rebrand them, and make it work in another way, and you will scale through. That is who an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is someone that takes advantage of an existing problem. Look at the problem, create a solution out of the problem, provide it to the people, and then boom, you're good to go. So in case you're writing, write this down. Innovation is more powerful than invention. In the 21st century, innovation is more powerful than invention. Very powerful. Innovation is more powerful than invention. Why am I saying that? If you concentrate on innovating, the stress is going to be lesser because you'll be working on an already existing platform. What you have to do is to do a rebrand and a little touch. So here is my secret for all African entrepreneurs. Here's my secret. In computer language, they call it copy and paste. So what I call is copy, edit, and paste. Get already existing information. Get already existing information. Work on those information, edit them, rebrand them, paste them as a solution, and you will make money. Don't kill yourself trying to create new ideas from nowhere. It doesn't exist. If you are a believer, you read your Bible, the Bible says something, somewhere in Ecclesiastes, it says, for there is nothing new under the sun. The thing that is the one that has been. So everything that we need for our survival has been created by God already. It's already existing on earth. So all we need to do is to figure out where it is. So go and make your research and find out. So as an entrepreneur, an African entrepreneur, what we're supposed to be doing now is to be doing rediscovery. That's the word. Rediscovery. Nobody is discovering any new thing. We are doing rediscovery. They've all been discovered. They are all there. So the moment you rediscover another one, you say, wow, okay, you always see someone who had discovered that thing before. Or probably the person discovered the stuff and then worked on it and then it died out. So you rediscover it, rebrand it, and then make it your own idea. And that's how you make your money. As simple and cheap as that is. Okay, so always learn to innovate. Learn how to do innovations. Next one is you have to learn to be flexible. What I call evolution. Learn the principle of flexibility. Always learn to be flexible, learn to mix up with people, learn to interact, be flexible enough to want to catch up into anything that you find yourself or you find your hands in. Flexibility is a key factor to leadership. Flexibility is a key factor to success in entrepreneurship. You have to understand the principle of flexibility. If you get it, then you are good to go. Remember like what I said? I said you have to learn to be a disruptor so that you don't get disrupted. Learn to be a disruptor so you don't get disrupted. So the next attribute you're going to learn to enable you ignite the entrepreneurship spirit in you is that you have to learn to be a disruptive thinker. Learn to be a disruptive thinker. I've talked to most of my mentors, people I follow both openly and secretly, and most of them, when they talk to me, they tell me that most of their time they spend it to think. If you are a good thinker, then you are on the way to success. That's why you see me wrote a book called The Billionaire Mindset. When I just wrote this book in 2019, and I think, yes, 2019, and everybody was like, oh, why are you writing the book, The Billionaire Mindset? You're not a billionaire yet. And there's something I said, the major problem is not the billionaire. The major issue with this book is the mindset. The word mindset is so powerful. If you understand mindset, you understand your life. And from the moment this book was published, I've had thousands of testimonies of people who have been reading this book and how it has changed their entire life. So you have to be a disruptive thinker. Your mind you must be living beyond this world in your mind if you really have to succeed. So we have to understand that as Africans, as African entrepreneurs, there is something we need to know, which is beyond what we call hustling. I always hear people say things like, your hustle will soon pay, I'm hustling hard and all of that. And most times I try telling them, I said, hey, listen, until you change your mindset from that statement, hustling, it becomes difficult for you to actually have success easily the way people are supposed to have it. Because anything you put in your mind works in your life. You can never live your life beyond your mindset. So if your mindset is a mindset of a hustler, that means you have to work very hard for you to make great success. So what you have to do is that there's something you need to work on, which is your mind. And these things are very simple. First thing is you need to work beyond the African context. That means you have to stop thinking that in Africa we have to suffer to survive. You have to stop thinking that it is difficult for businesses to scale through in Africa until you put your hand into shitty business or shitty deals. So your mindset in becoming a successful African entrepreneur is very important. If you're writing, you can write this down. Whatever your mind cannot accommodate, your life cannot experience. Whatever your mind cannot accommodate, your life cannot experience. So anything that cannot stay in your mind cannot stay in your life. So if your mind cannot handle success as an entrepreneur, your life cannot keep it. No matter how much money you have with you, your mind, if it's not in your mind, it cannot stay in your life. So becoming a disruptive thinker is paramount for you to be a successful entrepreneur. And finally, you have to learn to be a doer. There's a tendency in Africa that most African youths are being attempt lazy. But in the real sense, African youths or the Africans are hard workers. They work a lot. The only problem I have with their hard work is that most of them work with their muscles and not with their hands, and not with their mind. I say that again. The only problem I have with the hard-working nature of Africans is that most of them work more with their muscles and not with their mind. So what are you supposed to do? Whatever you are doing, let your mind do the work first before your life, before your muscles can get into work. So do all the working in your mind and then put your muscles in place. At that point, your muscles will do lesser job and the result will be exponential. The result will be terrible, will be amazing. Right? So guys, as African entrepreneurs, it's very simple. We have to understand that we can make it big. We can change the face of Africa. Entrepreneurs can change the face of Africa. I started by telling you entrepreneurship is all about solving a problem. So all of us should get into the business of solving problems. So look around your community. Your own Africa begins from you. Wherever you are, that's where your Africa begins. So if I'm changing my world, you are changing your world, he's changing his world, Mr. Idabo is changing his world, everybody is changing their world in Africa. We will make Africa better. So start from where you are. Stop looking at far off, stop looking abroad, stop looking at Europe, stop looking at America. Look at where you are. There's a lot of deposits around your environment, right within your own home. There's a lot of deposits. And so you can start solving a problem from there. Within 5 years, I have 9 companies running. No money borrowed from any foreign nation, but right here in Africa. And everybody can do that. How did it all start? I made a decision to solve a problem beginning from my community. Today, we have Tex Global in 3 continents and over 7 countries duly registered, and we are doing amazing well in our businesses. Everybody can do that. So African entrepreneurs, I'm calling on you. Rise up, stand up on your feet, and know that we can make it and we can change the face of Africa. I was talking to some people yesterday and I said, we have one major reason why most African entrepreneurs give up early. Their businesses fail. It's difficult to see an African business that has lasted 50 years. Very few. Now, especially the young entrepreneurs getting into businesses now, they start up a business in 1 month, the business is going down 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. If they last 5 years, they overtried. I was listening to one of the entrepreneurs I admire a lot. He's called Dan Locke, and he said, 90% of businesses crash after their first 5 years. Why is that? And this is very common in the African businesses. First 5 years, 90% of businesses are down. You know why? This is because most people who go into business don't go into business to solve a problem. They go into business to make money. Number 2, most people go into business not to win in those businesses. They go there not to lose. So anytime you go into your business as an entrepreneur, if you go into business because you are afraid to be poor, you may not be able to make it up to 1 year in that business. So how do you stay in business as an entrepreneur for 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Go there as a problem solver. Go there as a solution provider. If you go there as a solution provider, what will happen is you will take your time to build systems. So young African entrepreneurs, what are you supposed to do? Whatever business you are running, there is one more thing I want you to attach to your business. It's going to give you sustainability. It's what I termed recurring revenue. Be able to build systems in your business, systems around your business that are pumping in money into your business to give your business a lasting life experience or lifespan. Africans entrepreneurs don't know what it means to run a business and give the business multiple streams of income. What they do is, if I'm running a business, let's say I run an IT business, they consume the IT business and they do the IT business, and that's it. The only source of income for their business is what they make from their IT services. And so when things come up and hit hard on them, or let's say during pandemic or during crisis, they cannot stand it because the business does not have supporting system. Most businesses are running on one leg. Your business must stand on all four legs if the business must stand the test of time. If you have to stay for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, your business must stand on four legs. There's no car that actually drives well on 3 tires or on 2 tires or on 1 tire. So guys, listen. Create a system in your business that brings in recurring revenue in your business. You may have a name in your business, a particular business you run, but always make sure there are other streams that you are creating in the background that pump in resources into your business. Thank you. Africa is blessed. I like that. Africa is blessed and Africans are blessed. I'm telling you, there are a lot of resources, there are a lot of platforms in Africa that if you take advantage of it as an African entrepreneur, you will scale in less than no time. I like saying this. Africa is emerging. It's an emerging economy. And if you're an entrepreneur in Africa, as I speak to you now, you stand the chance or the opportunity to become one of the fastest billionaires in your generation. All you need to do is to find out where you are, what works where you are, how it works where you are, and how fast you can make it work where you are. I'll try to say that again. I don't know how I said it. But I said, Africa is an emerging economy. And so if you are an entrepreneur in Africa, as I speak now, then you are blessed to be one of the fastest billionaire in your generation. All you have to do is to find out what works where you are, how it works where you are, and how fast it can work where you are, and how you can make it work faster where you are. If you get that right, in 1, 2, 3 years, you can mount up millions or billions of your currency in Africa. The resources are there. The manpower is there. The human capital is there. The social capital is there. Everything is available. And it's even cheaply available to anyone who is interested in making it big. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most blessed set of people in the world today are African entrepreneurs. And so I am encouraging you to use me as an example to grow your life and to grow your business. I have experienced growth in business in 5 years, right here in Africa. Today, we have a company registered in the US, registered in Turkey, in Equatorial Guinea, in Cameroon, in Nigeria, in South Africa. We have our businesses everywhere. Now, these are the places where it's registered, but everywhere we have businesses in Germany, in the UK, in Cyprus, in Dubai, everywhere within 5 years. But where did we start from? We started from what we can easily grab. That's agriculture. Don't look too far. Look within. There is something inside of you that you need to just understand how it functions, and you use that thing inside of you to blow out your world. The energy that is needed to blow a balloon to make it fly is inside. It's not outside of the balloon. What you need to give yourself a name is not outside of you, it's within you. So can you decide to take a new step in your life today with the help of ICOS and change your entire life? Africa has gone through a lot. And in the 21st century, in this generation, you and I are the change that Africa is expecting. As an African entrepreneur, you are not just a businessman, you are a solution provider in this continent. And let me say this, the world will hold you responsible. Heaven will hold you responsible. Your generation will hold you responsible. The generation unborn will hold you responsible if you refuse to take a step to changing your lives and the lives of the people who are looking up to you. So if you're ready for that, then you can start calling yourself African entrepreneur. But if you're not ready, please drop the title, because that title is for those who are ready to take the risk and solve a problem. Don't just go there for the money. You know why? The money will always come the moment you start solving problems for people. How many billions of people do we have in Africa? Imagine you being in control of just 1 million Africans. Let's say you live in Nigeria. Nigeria is over 180 million people. Imagine you being in control of just 1 million Nigerians, solving problems for 1 million Nigerians, and they are giving you 100 naira every month. And 1 million Nigerians are giving you 1 million naira every month. That's about 100 million naira. It means solving a problem for 1 million people and they give you just 1 million naira. Sorry, they give you just 100 naira a month. You'll be worth 100 million naira every month. So the problem is not the money. The problem is that the average African has not been able to think enough to provide solution to the problems. The entire world is having problems. Every day, people are hungry, people are sick, people are dying, people are going under depression. Question is, what solution can you provide? What solution can you provide? Are you ready to stay all night while everybody is sleeping? And I'll wrap up with this. If you really have to survive, you must understand that no average person ever makes it big on earth. You must understand that the sector in which you are, there are gods in those sector. If you are in the agricultural business, there are gods in that sector. If you're in the real estate business, there are gods in that sector. If you're in the IT business, there are gods in that sector. So you don't ever think that you can get into that sector just like an ordinary person, just go there ordinarily and then get the sector to do business and want to win in that sector. It cannot happen. So if you truly have to make a name in any sector you find yourself, you must understand the place of spirituality. You must know that you have to go deeper than the physical if you truly have to be sustainable in your business. There are two forces that control the world, the force of darkness and the force of light. So you choose which force you want to connect yourself with. But understand that the place of spirituality must be highly embedded inside of you if you must remain in your business. Because the gods will not allow you. The people who control the business, who are there before you, will not allow you to come and win them. It's a battle of competition. Everybody wants to stamp their name. And if you are coming there to write your name also in that book, then your force must be stronger. What are you supposed to do? You have to understand who is in charge. In this business where I'm going to, the real estate business in Nigeria, in Cameroon, Africa, who is in charge? If this person is in charge, how strong are they? Once you understand how strong the authorities are, you will not be able to make a way through. Have you wondered why people get into business after 6 months, they're out of business? They just disappear. Their money disappear. Something happened to their business. Why? These are smart people who know how to do their management policies correctly. Why would they run out of business? Beyond management, there is something that is deeper than the physical things we see about business. Entrepreneurs, we have to understand that. That's why I started by saying that entrepreneurship is a spirit. And until you understand the spirit, and I like the topic, igniting the entrepreneurial spirit in the African youth. Do you have the spirit? Do you have the attitude? Do you have the courage? Do you have the character of an entrepreneur to stay in this journey? Because it is a fight, it is war, it's a journey that requires risk, requires sacrifice, requires sweat, and requires your blood. You have to give in if you have to make a name. Except you just want to shine for 2 months. But if you want to shine for 50 years, you have to give in all of these things I have mentioned. Courage, risk, blood, sweat, everything has to be there. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 5 years, I have worked and I've experienced it. And I can tell you the challenges that are there. But then it is worth it when you finally win. There is no space for giving up. There is no space for getting tired. It's a continuous journey until we all get to the final destination. As entrepreneurs, your character must be intact because one day you'll be questionable. Learn to build people who can carry out these things in your absence. And I'd like to say this, Mr. Loveday, I'll wrap up with this statement. Anytime you are, as an entrepreneur, you are thinking about the value of the product or the service you render, look at it through the eyes of your buyers. Because when someone wants to buy from you, they don't only buy your product, they want to buy the future of that product. So they will ask one question to themselves: if this person is no longer here, can this business continue? And that is what the African entrepreneur is lacking. The moment some of us disappear from the surface of the earth today, the business also disappears. Do you have the spirit of sustainability? Are you making provision for the business to remain in your absence? Will the business die the moment you die? These are questions you ask yourself. These are provoking questions I am sending back to you as African entrepreneurs. What are the provisions you are making for a takeover in your absence? I'm not talking about coup d'etat. I'm talking about a takeover. I'm talking about you putting things in place so that the moment you are not there, the business can still run without you. If you travel today, will your business still operate? African entrepreneurs, that's a question you should answer. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, Mr. Teke Samuel. So the billionaire agriculturist, the multi-company owner. What is that what you use? Whatever it is, he's one man who is filled with so much knowledge, and he has been sharing it. In fact, I kept on writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. My paper got filled up. I didn't have any to write anymore. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Teke Samuel, for dishing out on, you didn't hold it back. You explained your journey right from how you started down to where you are right now. Having 9 companies in 5 years is not a small feat at all. All right. And then you made us understand that as entrepreneurs, you should be problem solvers. Don't have money in sight. Money will come as an addition to whatever you're doing. Think of solving a problem, and then the money will be an addition to the problem you're solving. Once you solve the problem, of course, money will come alongside. So there's so much you have said, so much, and I'm sure we've got the snippets. With time, we'll share all those snippets on our social media platforms for more people to still get the value that you've given out. All right. So before I let you go, I would just give an opening for all those who want to ask questions. If they have, we just take 3 questions. Our next speaker is already itching. In fact, we started late, so it's into our time. Yeah, it's nobody's fault actually, technical issues, but it's fine. We're going on right now. So we'll take 3 questions. So if you have a question, just drop the question in the comment section. All right, just 3 of them, and that will be fine. You still get to answer them. He's very gallant. You can see him. He's not shaking. He's just there. So ask your questions, and oh, someone is really emotional already, man. You just hitting those, you strike those chords that would turn Africans' head. Yeah, that is you answering the topic, igniting that fire. You have truly and truly ignited that fire. So let's have questions. Let's have questions. If you have just questions, just 3 questions. I'm looking at the comment section right now. Okay, there's one. One says somebody said, how can they get in touch with you? It's a question though. So maybe you just tell us how we can connect with you. How can I get in touch with you, Mr. Tekesabro? So what are the channels we can reach you?
So on Facebook, Teke Samuel, Instagram, Teke Samuel, everywhere you go to just type Teke Samuel in all of the social media platforms. That's how you can get in touch with me. But I can I have my business WhatsApp number. You can get me on WhatsApp. +237 671 731827 +237 671 731827.
Okay, I'm sure you got that. So that's how you can get in touch with him on his business WhatsApp, or just go. In fact, go on social media, type his name. He's that popular. Mr. Teke Samuel. It will come out, bam, and I'm sure you also get his business WhatsApp number there too, so you can just connect with him. He'll be glad to hear from you. He's very passionate about Africans and making Africa great again. He has done it, and he hopes that you too will be ready to do it. Again, like you mentioned, there are things you must make sure you do if you must achieve the feats that he has achieved. Right? From a community that had nothing to a place of abundance, that's not an easy feat to achieve. But then he has done it, and he's not old yet. I can't see white beards, but his beards are still very fresh and black. So it's still that he still has that energy and that young to go more years. And maybe before his time is over, he become a more
Okay, so there's a question here. Yeah. You talked about the entrepreneurship spirit. How is it possible to maintain the spirit amidst the distraction and instability? All right, this is very simple. That's why I talked about decision. The word decision is an old word, a Hebrew word for desidera, which means a complete or total agreement to do a thing. So when you have this, if you have decided to be an entrepreneur and gather all the character that an entrepreneur is supposed to have, it means you are supposed, your decision is supposed to beat any distraction and any instability. So that's, I mentioned sacrifices, I mentioned risk, I mentioned courage. Because to take courage, it will take risk, it will take a whole lot to look at instability and say, hey, I cannot be distracted. Because you always have them coming. Those are part of the things to actually test your faith if you have really decided to make the decision to be an entrepreneur. So understand this. The distraction, the instability will be there. They will always come. But your decision to be an entrepreneur must always supersede all of them. So the decision is the key. It will determine if you are your decision to beat instability and distraction would tell if you have made a strong decision to be an entrepreneur or not. If you fail in midst of instability and distraction, it means your information was not enough. You always have distraction, there will always be instability, but the decision to be an entrepreneur should be able to beat the instability and the distraction. It is possible. I started my business in the midst of what they call Anglophone crisis in Cameroon in 2016, 2017, where nobody was moving. there's a part of Cameroon where there's right now, every Monday they have what they call a ghost town. Nobody goes to work. Now, during that period, 2016, 2017, sometimes you stay for like 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there's no movement. Everybody is indoors, but we still have to do business. But thank God for social media, because we have to make use of that. That's why I always say this to people. In the 21st century, everybody is a social media company. I didn't say every company. I said everybody should be a social media company. Because in the midst of instability, in the midst of pandemic, there is still a platform where everybody have to work. So if you understand the place of social media, if you understand the place of technology, then you can always get through. You can always beat distraction. You can always beat instability. You can always beat pandemic. You can always beat anything that comes your way. Social media is a strong tool to be used in times like this, where there's instability and distraction. Thank you. What opportunities do you think exist for African entrepreneurs in agriculture through that is the African Central Free Trade Agreement? Okay. Thank you, Stella Marconi. Yes, see, the opportunities are a lot. See, if the African Continental Free Trade Agreement is fully signed and officially established, see, it's going to be something the world has not seen before. The opportunities for the African entrepreneurs will double to what it is today, because it will be easier for you to move agricultural products from, let's say, from Cameroon to Kenya without any restriction. There are some countries in Africa that find it difficult to do agricultural activities. But for you to move from your own country to their own country as an African entrepreneur, especially in the agricultural sector, is difficult for now. But if this agreement is fully established, then the African entrepreneurs, especially those in the agricultural sector, are made billionaires already. They are made billionaires. So let's start getting it ready, because opportunities are enormous. They are enormous. You can actually move to anywhere and do your business. You can process your agricultural products here and take it to a country that they don't have the opportunities for processing agricultural products. You can try to live here and start doing agricultural training in Kenya, or do it in Chad, or do it in Togo, anywhere, as long as that free trade agreement has been established. So the opportunities are enormous. There are a lot of them. You can't count them. They are just too much. And I want us to know something, that one of the greatest advantage we have is that we are blessed with lands, fertile lands in Africa. Fertile lands, we are blessed with it. So, Madam Stella, the opportunities are too much for African entrepreneurs, especially those in the agricultural sector. There are a lot of them, a lot. You can probably chat me. We can always talk about that. I'm trying to say I can rush with time.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Teke Samuel, for your time. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate it greatly. We would always contact you anytime, any day, for more of your wisdom. They are enormous, and would always have much time. I see you have so much to say, but I'm sure the time doesn't even give it. It's not enough for you to do justice to the topic, but it's fine. The snippet is good. We're like repatriates. We can come again for more. This is not the end of the world. We always have more time. Yes, have more time to tap from your wisdom. So thank you so much for coming on this show, and thank you for killing the topic. We are so grateful on behalf of everybody watching, and also the ICOS team, and also Mr. Howley is the convener of this great conference. We appreciate you a lot. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Thanks.
All right. Okay, my people, we are still going on. We have our second speaker. I've kept her longer than necessary. In fact, I don't know how to apologize to her for keeping her this long. She's someone who keeps to time strongly, and we should have had her before now. but unfortunately, we had technical issues, and that has really held us back. But still, we're going to move on. So quickly, I'll roll through her profile. I won't be showing a video, I'll just show her profile so we can get on with the show. So her name is Patrida Paul, and this is her profile. So all right, so we will be having her. She's the one in the screen. You can see her clearly. Madam Patrida Paul, thank you for your patience. I'm sorry for taking all your time. It's technical issues. First days are usually like that, but we thank God that everything is going on well right now. So we are glad to have you with us. Join us for the International Conference of Stars, and I'm sure you have so much to give us. All right. So please, I will beg, give us extra time. I know you're very strict on your time, but please don't hold back the information. There are a lot of Africans who want to learn. A lot of persons also watching around the world who would love to learn from you. So please and please do not hold those information back. Share as much as you can, and I'm sure we'll be glad that you did. So the floor is yours, madam. You're welcome.
Thank you. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm actually lost of words, to be honest. Since I have 7 minutes left to speak, I really don't know much what to say.
Please increase the time.
I guess everything I prepared has already evaporated, to be honest. Just to share what else. I mean, this has been a great forum. It's good to engage with everyone, good to connect with everyone. And I was supposed to speak about creative and innovation. But still, as I said, I think my time is very, very limited. So maybe if I would allow the moderator to ask the next speaker to come in, because I'm not sure I might be able to deliver in the next 7 minutes or 6 what I intended to deliver. As I said earlier, I move according to time.
Please,
and I don't really have much time.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead and share what you want to share. We can spare more time if you have the time.
All right. Can you proceed with the guiding questions?
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be you sharing your ideologies about the topic of discourse as it centers around the area that has been given to you. So you have to say a couple of things about it, and then the audience will be free to ask questions.
I received the topic. However, which angle do you want me to tackle in? Because there are several angles that the topic can be tackled in. And I've been working with the youth across Africa, so I might bring something that might not be fit for this forum. So that's why I asked, do you have any guiding questions?
Yes, this conference is for Africans and young people all over Africa and also the world. So we need those experiences you have, those places, those platforms you've worked with, the experiences you've gathered working with young people. so a larger crowd could also gain from the resourcefulness that you have. That's exactly what we want. So share those thoughts. There are diverse people here. It's not just about Africa, Nigeria, or Ghana. It's a platform that connects the world. So whatever knowledge you have concerning working with the youth, please share. We would benefit from it, definitely.
Okay, I wouldn't really share whatever knowledge I have. I'll just stick to the topic, which was on creative and innovation. And maybe just to share what we've been doing in line with the African Union Youth Division is that we have been supporting young people who are upcoming innovators, but also working on different issues related to trade. And that has been through the process of the AFCTA process with young people. And this has been in diverse with diverse young people from across Africa. As you know, Africa has 5 regions, and we've been working with all the young people from East, West, South, Central, and also the young people in the diaspora to see how best we can amplify their voices. We can connect them to business incubators so as they can scale up their work. And I think currently maybe something that I could share that could be of use for this session and for the topic would be there is a call for Africa Youth Innovators Fellowship by the African Union, and it's been shared and amplified through different social media outlets. This could be an opportunity for different young people to come in and see how best they can integrate. Since I don't have particular area I'm used to being guided where to speak on, I think I'll probably end it there because I have so many things in my mind, and I would like to deliver as of my best capabilities and not scatter in different angles that I'm supposed to be sharing. Back to you, moderator.
Okay, so you said you have. So let me quickly ask a few questions. Then I hope you would be able to guide us through. So, do you mind? I hope you're still here. Are you here, Madam Pratida Paul? Are you still with us? Okay, I think she's not here with us at the moment. All right, so we'll just take a little break, and when we'll come back, we would continue. Let's see if we can sort out the network issues that's not making us to hear from her at the moment. So just stick around. We'll be back in a jiffy. For now, let's have a little of the commercials.
Hastings Hago Golosi is a self-made entrepreneur and co-founder of HD Plus Creations Limited. He is a business development specialist with problem-solving and decision-making skills and also the founder of ENACT, an organization that mentors youth with business and entrepreneurship skills. He is a holder of a bachelor degree in science and information technology obtained from the Malawi Polytechnic. He's also a 2020 nominee for the African Youth Award under the category of Social Entrepreneur of the Year. He is a 2021 Mandela Washington Fellow under Business and Entrepreneurship Track USA. His journey as an entrepreneur started in 2011 when he was in his first year. During his days at the campus, he did various businesses, and his first business was providing computer services and products to his fellow college students. In 2013, while in the third year, using the book allowance of $41 that he received from the Malawi government, he invested it in pig farming. Having a passion for filmmaking, in 2014, he partnered with a college classmate in a media consultancy business called HD Plus Creations, which they have successfully managed to employ many. It is their goal to be leaders of the film industry in Africa and employ more youth by 2030. Since 2018, Hastings worked as an assistant consultant at Lead and Managed Consulting. He organizes and executes assigned business projects on behalf of clients according to clients' requirements. In 2020, he joined the RISE 360 Institute for Global Health International Virtual Internship Program, where he is coaching college student interns and empowering future innovators through their design work. The program comprises students from Rice University USA, Kenya, and Malawi University. Hastings believes he is the new breed of individuals that use entrepreneurial values and approaches to solve the major sustainability problems. Eradicating poverty in all its forms remains one of the greatest challenges facing humanity and the Malawians. Ladies and gentlemen, Hastings Hago Golosi.
Okay, that's our man, Hastings Hadgo Dolosi, the man of the moment, the man who we will be hearing his voice very, very, very soon. A very happy man, a man who smiles a lot, a man who his body shows, yes, that he really knows what he's doing. So, all right, so that I'll be bringing up, he'll be coming up shortly to share his topic, accelerating your dreams. How he will share how he accelerated his own dreams and how you too can accelerate yours. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not so busy, let's make welcome Mr. Hastings Hago Golosi. Welcome, brother.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you very much, guys. I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, yes,
Um,
very audible.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. It's an amazing platform. Thank you, my brother, Audible. This is amazing. And I like the topic, accelerating your dreams, because I think I can easily relate. So I think just for the sake of time, let me just share my screen so that I believe I'm a visual person. Like I said, I'm a filmmaker. So basically, most of the things that I do, I need visuals. So let me just share my screen. I hope you'll be able to um, are you able to see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we can. We can see your screen clearly.
Is it working? Is it working now?
Yes, it's very, very clear.
It's full, right? Okay.
Yes, it is.
So okay, guys. So basically, I will not take much of your time. I think we have already used much of the time. So I'll be talking about the topic about accelerating your dreams. So basically, like I said, I'm a business coach, but I don't coach. I get on the pitch with you because it's my hands-on approach that results in you achieving more in your business. So basically, that's what I do. People comes to me and say, "We have this idea. Can you help us?" So I think that's the thing that I've been doing. But now I just want to show you where I'm coming from. But before that, I have this question. Do you know why Africa is filled with many dreamers but few innovations? I think maybe you'll be able to answer me this question after my presentation. But also, but do you know it's possible to have a brilliant idea in your mind and die with it? You can wake up with this brilliant idea, but then you're just keeping it. But now, what do you need? You need to have this energy to accelerate that idea. So I think people, there are two things. There is goals and there's dreams. Goals is very important, yes, but dreams is much, much, much better. Dreams is much more important. What do I mean by that? They say you when you sleep, you see this more like a fantasy. But now that's more like a dream. I'll give an example. When I grow up, I want to be the president of United States of America. So it'd be like, okay, that's a dream, yes, but it's more like a fantasy. But you know, it's possible for you to achieve that dream. How? You need to have goals in life. So basically, a lot of people doesn't differentiate between a goal and a dream. All these things are important in life, but a goal and a dream is more imagination. So according to online dictionary, it's more like a fantasy, like an aspiration, more like an ambition. So as a person, I started dreaming big when I was in first year. So let me just take you through what I imagine and what I've achieved and what I'm about to achieve. But let me just think about it. Imagine if the Wright brothers never imagined the airplane in their minds, history would have been changed completely. Imagine if Sir Tim Berners-Lee never imagined the WWW, where would we be today? So it all starts with the imagination. It all starts with a dream. Let's talk about Oprah. So imagine whatever he has achieved, it was not imagined in our head. What could have been? We have a lot of examples in Africa. A lot of people dreamed first, then they had to do later. So let me just take you through how I've used dreams to come to reality. This is me in first year. That was 2011. I was just a college fresh year. But then I made a choice, I made a decision to be an entrepreneur at this particular time. Why? There's a story behind being an African raised in a home village. So it was like, okay, fine. Now, what happened if I finish school and then there's no job? And yet, here in Africa, we use this extended family whereby every Jim and Jack comes to you and say, we need you help us with the school fees. We need your help. So it's like I knew that the time that I'm going to college, once I'm done with college, I have the responsibilities. I have to take care of people, my relatives. So I had to make a choice. So I made a decision to be an entrepreneur when I was in first year. Fast forward, here in Malawi, our government used to give us a book allowance that was for $1 then. So I asked myself, you know what? When I finish school, I want to be an entrepreneur. But now I'm in Africa. Business doesn't just you can't just start business today and 2 years later you're boom, you're a millionaire. It takes time. How best can I foresee myself? So what I saw was after my 4 years, I saw a person who is trying to gain business, who trying to win customers. But then I had to start an initiative whereby, you know what, let me start pig farming so that when I finish school and one of my relatives come to me and say, "Hi, Uncle Hago, we need school fees," I should be able to say, "You know what? We can sell pigs. You can use that for your school fees." So it was a dream that I saw. You know what? I saw it. I imagined my life after college, but now I had to go back to in 2013 and say, let me start. So I started a pig farming. Then this is my business partner. I'm a storyteller. So I was like, you know what? When I finish school, I want to start business, but also I want to be one of the greatest storytellers in Africa. But I'm not a journalist. I'm not an author. I cannot tell these stories through books. What if I start telling the same stories using the camera lens? Okay, it's possible. So in 2014, we started this HD Plus station, whereby it's a media consultancy business. But now it was like, okay, fine. I dreamed first, then I started. So this is what we dreamt of in 2014. This is our office now. But now, this is in 2014, we saw, you know what? After finishing school, we want to have this big studio. But let me show you where we were in that day. This is our first office. That was the right on the ground. So we were in this space. This is our first office, but we were dreaming big to grow. Like, you know what? After finish school, after doing whatever, we know one day we'll grow. We were just 3 people. We were dreaming of this big team we have managed. We just had a small camera. Now we've managed to buy so many good cameras. Black Magic is one of them. All this started with a dream. Now we made a choice. You know what? Let's start telling Malawian stories. Now the newspaper started talking about it. The thing that started with a dream. Now this week we have been nominated the best Southern Africa best feature film, Fatani. Maybe with time one day I'll show you the trailer. But whatever I'm saying is it started with a dream. This is a group in 2015. 98% of these people, they were the first members of ENACT, an organization that I started in college. What inspired me to come up with this organization? So after doing 3 businesses, like the computer businesses, the pig farming, and the HD Plus, the video production company, I was like, you know what? Let me go to the bank, financial institution, and get some bank loan so that I can boost the pig farming. All the banks in Malawi, all the financial institutions in Malawi, they say, no, we can't give you a loan, you're a college student. So I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, it's okay, I'll go to other organizations. Maybe they'll help me. I'm telling you, none of the organization helped me because to them, to help a college student entrepreneur, the risk was high. So you know what? I was like, okay, man, what can I do? I was angry, I was depressed to see these young talented people with an entrepreneurial mind, but no platform to help them. So you know what? I came up with a platform to help college student entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship in action. So the idea was to put these great minds together so that we can think outside the box. I should be honest with you. Here in my country, in Malawi, there is high unemployment rate. So like you find someone graduating with good grades, but now there's no jobs. Our private sector, our government is failing to accommodate these young skills. But now I had to say, you know what? What if we create a system whereby we help people, we help these young minds from college. Then we started this initiative called Enact. So one day I'll come back to this platform and say, let me just take each one of these great minds and what are they now? Where are they now? I'm telling you, these people are great entrepreneurs because they started with a dream. We dreamed together with a vision. Hey guys, once we graduate, if there's no jobs, let's be entrepreneurs. So I've managed to meet the president, the team, and also we have managed to partner with different organizations in the US. But now, how can we accelerate our dreams? First thing, we need to imagine a better reality. So if you want your life to change, you must change your mindset first. So because it is your mindset which is limiting your success in life. So first thing first, you need to close your eyes and say, you know what, guys, I want to see myself at this platform. There was a time that I was talking to myself, more like imagine myself being interviewed with one of the greatest journalists from BBC, Al Jazeera. So I was there talking to myself, you know what, I'm doing this initiative. The idea is I had to imagine a better reality first. But then, what's the point of imagining something and then you don't have passion about what you're doing? So you can only envision your future. Passion and vision must go together if you want to achieve your goals. For example, from my case, I wanted to become one of the greatest storytellers. But to have passion in filmmaking, yes, I love what I do. Someone can just hire me and say, okay, Hago, come on set. I love creating stories. I love directing people. I like turning stories from the paper into reality. I like telling stories through the camera lens. So what you need is once you imagine your better reality, you need to put passion in it. Then what's the point of having passion and you're just sitting at home? So whatever you imagine in your mind, you need to back up with passion, faith, and action. Then you pass. So the key is action. So the problem is a lot of people visualize things, but now do you know what happened? They fail because they just stay. They have a lot of ideas on paper. That's why in my first I asked, do you know why it's possible to die with a brilliant idea? Why you're not putting it in action? You might be able to imagine the reality, you might have passion, but then you're just sitting at home. Then you need to visualize. I think one of my strengths personally is I'm able to visualize things. Maybe I think the filming industry has helped me a lot, whereby I'm able to foresee things while my eyes are closed. So you need to see yourself. You need to see the future you. You need to put the end before. So the idea is it's possible for you to see yourself like the steps. Okay, fine. Once I'm here, I'll do ABCD. It fails, I'll do ABCD. So you need to see the future you. That is the step, one of the steps to accelerate your dreams. Then you need to stretch beyond your fears. So the thing is, the dreams is more like a fantasy. Dreams is more like an imagination, like an inspiration. Guys, to be honest, it's not easy. It's more terrific. It's like there's too much fear. It's like you're afraid of you doing something. So the idea is you need to stretch beyond the fear, saying, okay, one day I will have a, for example, I was telling one of my people that I mentor, they're like, oh, you know what? I want one day to produce one of the best movies. How can I do that? I need to start producing mine. Then I'll be able to partner with Hollywood stars, Nollywood stars, Bollywood stars. It's so once you are afraid, it's more like, okay, my weakness is A. So the idea is you need to know your weakness first, then you'll be able to know your strengths. So once you are able to visualize where you're going, you have the passion, you have the action, I think it will be easier for you to start walking. Say, you know what? I know where I'm going. I know one day I'll be one of the top successful entrepreneurs. How? I just need to start doing. So now imagine if you have been dreaming of becoming the president of, for example, film association of your country. And now from nowhere, it has pleased the president of your country and say, Hastings Gross, we have appointed you to be a BCD. And the thing that you have been preparing for so long, the thing that you dreamt of, are you going to be ready? Are you going to be up for it? Or you'll be like, oh, no, I'm still young. So the idea is, once you imagine your reality, you have passion, then you have put in some action in it, you have visualized, and then you are no longer afraid, just be ready. So it's like every time I always talk to myself, like I've made it. This time that I was talking to my one of the friends, they're like, you know what? I'm preparing the speech that I'll do during the Oscars awards. I have the speech. I'm ready. Imagine if you just to please the judge and say your movie has been nominated and you have won an Oscar award. What am I going to tell people? You need to prepare. Once that opportunity comes, once that business that you have been dreaming of, that partner that you have been dreaming, that deal that you have been dreaming, once it's on the table, are you going to go for it? So finally, you need to prepare your celebration. Be happy and do more impact more lives. So the journey is, I've used this formula to help accelerating my dreams. I know I'm not there because my dream is big, but I've been having goals. Once I finish school, I should do this. All these goals are helping me to achieve my dream. First, I had to dream it. Then the passion came into it. Then action. Hey guys, the action is the key. Then I was able to visualize. Then prepare for my dream. So, hi guys, the reality on the ground is no one is coming to help you. No one is coming to push you. No one is coming to tell you to submit a business plan. No one is coming to tell you, like this proposal, meet this partner, meet this, start. No one. No one is coming to tell you to enact your ideas. No one is telling you to put your ideas into action. No one. It's up to you. It's up to you. So the question is, what do you see yourself in 5 years coming? What's your purpose in life? Once you close your eyes and see yourself in 10 years coming, in 20 years coming, you'll be able to go back to start action, to start putting passion in it. You start to visualize things. You'll be more like ready. You know, it's possible to finish something before you start. It's possible to see the end in mind and begin. I'll just give you an example. I asked one of the groups that I mentors, like, do you know why God created trees instead of tables or beds or chairs? Because God knew that I'm creating this person. This person is so wise. The intelligence is there. So once I create a tree, this person will be able to use his creativity and transform to different chairs, tables. So the idea is we need to see the end before it happens. I gave it an example. If you meet a carpenter and you say, okay, I need you to do a bed for me or a chair, which one is the real chair? Which one is the real bed? Is it the one that you're using or the one that was in his mind? So the idea is for you, if you want to construct a house, you imagine the house in your head. It's like you have a finished product in your head. Then you go to a designer and say, an architect, I need this 2-bedroom, whatever, all these things. I need the chair, ABC, I need the bed. So it's like you have a real thing in your head, and this is just a shadow. So it's possible for us to dream our 10 years. We can dream our 100 years. We can dream the future of our kids. And now let's come back and say, you know what? How best can I do ABCD? So it's possible for you to start the end in mind. There's only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. A lot of people say, you know what, I can't do ABCD because once I fail, everybody will be laughing at me. Right? You know, if you know the steps, if you are able to visualize, the fear will not be there. You'll be like, okay, I've seen where I'm going. No matter what, I'll start walking. Then you start walking. Don't be scared. Don't listen to the voice in your head that tells your dreams are impossible to achieve. Don't let fear stopping you, because that's the only problem. It's like, no, I can't do this, I can't do ABCD. But I have not made it yet. But I had this idea when I was in first year. You can imagine the mind of a freshman in college. You see these people like, but now you are like, okay, but oh yes, let me do this. But I know where I'm going. Every morning you have two choices: continue to sleep with your dreams or wake up and chase them. I made a choice to wake up and start chasing my dreams. My goal as a filmmaker is to go to that climax. How do those people make money? Like, how? Let me start small. How do these people make billions? We have Arinko Dangote. That man inspires me a lot. I'm like, how did he manage? We have his product in Malawi, cement. It's everywhere. How did he manage to penetrate the whole Africa? Do you know what he did? He did not keep sleeping. He woke up and chased his dreams. This is in 26 June 2015. And I loved that was 6 years ago. So this is what I said. If you think Malawi, that's my country, cannot make it, change your mindset and invest in the youth entrepreneurs. And I can stand tall now and say the same. And I said, mark my words. And that's what we've been pushing Malawi and beyond Africa. Hey guys, if we want to expand, if we want to make it in Africa, we need to invest in the youth. Because the youth, they are fresh one. They'll be there in the next 20 years. They'll be there. So, but our politicians, what are they doing? They say you cannot do it. But then, what are we supposed to do to ourselves? We need to wake up and start chasing our dreams. And they'll be able to recognize and say, you know what? Why can't you just come and help us? And that's what's happening now. Like, okay, Hastings, we have this policy, we want to implement, we have this 2063 goals. Would you be a part of this? Now they've started recognizing us. So, guys, wherever you are, this is our continent. Africa is our home. We need to help our people to change the mindset first. Once we are able to change the mindset, it will be easier for them to say, you know what, they will be able to include us in their platform. In my vernacular language, Zikomo, it means thank you. Thank you very much, guys. So I'll ask the convener to share the video that I created just to inspire you guys. But thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
All right. While I share the video, guys, drop your questions. So by the end of the video, we will be taking them. But for now, let's share the video. But drop your questions. Want to become a great director like King? Movies are raking popularity and rankings all over Africa, and soon probably you get to Hollywood. Don't be surprised when you get the name Hastings, producer and director Hastings Hagogelosi, going for an Oscar Awards. Don't be surprised. That's how big his dreams can be. All right, but let us have the video roll, and then we will come back and have the chit chat with our man Hastings Hagogelosi. Enjoy.
when you're about to start something very big. You always wake up very early, even without an alarm clock. When your ideas are just fresh in your mind. The first second, the first minute, the first day, you are excited, you are energetic, you are like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I am ready. Yes, I will do this no matter what. The next day comes. You are like, oh, this is tough. I can't manage this. I don't have the capital. I don't have the courage anymore. Just like that, all the motivation is gone. You forget why you started. You forget the purpose you wanted to fulfill. Then you become frustrated, angry. You become depressed, bitter, jealous for those who have made it. But today, you're going into a battlefield. You're going to fight for your ideas. You're going to war with yourself. You are not scared. You are not afraid. Go out there and enact your ideas. Enact your energy. Enact the fire and desire to fight. Enact now.
Bro, what a touching movie that is. Now, it was just like I was in a theater watching a movie. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hastings Hago. You know, this is exactly what happens to us. You know, we started all motivated. We hear all this the conference. Man, Mr. Samuel said something great. Mr. Hastings said something spectacular. Oh, I am motivated. I am super strong. I'm ready. I want to take on the world. I want to build my mansion. I want to build my empire. And then the next day we become weak. We forget why we started. You know, this is just to tell us that at those low moments, there's always an opportunity for you to rise again and reach out to those heights. Now let me say this. Even though he didn't say this, there are moments he would have felt depressed. Don't get it twisted. Don't think it was all easy for him. He just started and then the energy was all there, pumped up from beginning to end. No, I'm sure if you had shared that part of him where things became so overwhelming, especially when he went to meet up the banks and they said, no, I'm not giving you any loan, you're college students. They're going to squander our money. How are we going to get our money back? Yeah, I'm sure those moments have been low moments for him. Like, am I ever going to really become what I have planned in my mind, you know? But then he was able to see that phase through, and this is where he is right now, and he's still going for this stuff. Like I said, I want to hear this name in Hollywood very soon. That's my dream for you, and I'm sure that will come to pass. So okay, so guys, like I said, we'll be having questions. He has shared his story. He has given us how he became, you know, from a big rare out to, you know, the man who meets with the president of Malawi and also have some business partners across the country and the continent. That's his journey and that's his story, and that's enough inspiration for us who are also struggling to achieve such feats. So I don't know if there are questions. Let me quickly check if we have questions down the chat line so that we can bring that up. Any question? If you asked before, kindly type it again so we can see it, because I can't see anyone here. Any question for him, or is it that his story was so emotional that we didn't have any other question, that we're just super excited that, whoa, I want to take on the world, right? I want to take that, lift that weight like that guy with slim chest, you know, so that I can build my muscles like Hago, you know. All right. Okay. If there is no, I can't see any question. We have 1 more minute. If you have a question, 1 minute. Okay, before the question comes, how can they connect with you? A lot of persons who want to meet you, a lot of persons want to know you better. This is a platform that's having a lot of persons from all around the world, majorly Africa, and of course, we have ambassadors from different countries. Okay, I think the question is up. Is that the question I see? Life changing session with. Oh, okay. This is one of the ambassadors from Cameroon who love what you do and would love to partner with you on producing the documentary. Fantastic. All right. Okay. Definitely, he'll be. That's what he does. Just you can reach out to him after now, and then you can work out the modalities. That's the essence of this conference, connecting stars. All right, from across the continent. All right. There's no boundaries here. Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Uganda, Morocco, Egypt, wherever, South Africa, wherever you are, you can Zimbabwe, you can connect and make magic. It's all about Africa, getting us to where we want to be. We've been underground for so long, and it's time for us to step up our game and take off the world. All right. So thank you. I can't see any question going on here, so I'm sure that we all got value from what. Okay, the question finally. One question here. All right. How were you able to scale from the moment of bank? Oh, I knew it. The moment of bank to now. I knew that was a very, very defining moment. So that's the question for you. Tell us that moment. How did you feel? The important. Let us know. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So basically, after that day, I realized that you don't need capital for you to start something. So yes, we cannot run away from a seed, more like money. But then it was like, you know what? What if we start first, and then people just come in? So instead of going to the bank, now we're using partners. For example, okay, fine. For example, imagine that day in 2014 when I wanted to expand my farming business. I realized that it was too early for me to expand that business and take a loan. The easiest way was just, okay, let me just partner with someone temporarily and say, okay, guys, you know what? I have, let's say, 70 piglets. I need 500, let's say, thousand, let's say, dollars. So the idea is, let's do a partnership. I give you the land, we do more like a partnership. Then that's what I've survived with time. We do more like partnerships. If the banks refuse you, why can't we just partner with someone? Why can't we just do more like a deal? You help me, I'll help you. So partnership is the way to go.
All right. Thank you very much. I think yes, I see another question. We would love to know what is that. Okay, let's take this up. We'd like to know what exactly are the most important skills that we must develop in our young students to train them for entrepreneurship in the future. So, what are those very cognitive skills? I know I'm sure you mentioned them, but just recapture them. Those things you need to have as a
Okay.
future entrepreneur.
So I don't know in your Hasina in your country, but for example, I'll give you a case in my country. The way our curriculum is, the syllabus, the way the university curriculum is, it's like they teach you to be employed. They give you that skill for you to be employed. Now, we are missing a point here, whereby, what if they put an entrepreneurship aspect in your course? For example, you're doing engineering, for example, civil, electrical engineering, and they say, you know what? There are only two sides here. You might be employed or no employed. So now, what will happen if there are no jobs? What are you going to do? Because you are trained to be an employee of something. So the idea is we're trying to push our government, say, you know what? What if you put an element of an entrepreneurship in every program, in every course? I'm doing medicine, I'm doing nursing, I'm doing accounting. How best can I use my program? How best can I use my course and make money? How best can I use without being employed? Because honestly, guys, here in Africa, there is high unemployment rate. The problem is the government is not helping the fresh graduates to create their jobs. So the idea is, it's possible. I'm not pushing people to be full entrepreneurs. No, it's possible to do both. But no, the skill is, whenever you are, for example, in first year, what course are you doing? And you need to start thinking how best, just in case there are no jobs, what skills can I acquire for me to survive after college in case there are no jobs. So there are no specific skills, but just to put in a board, just have an entrepreneurial mind, just apply business mindset in every business that you're doing.
All right. Apply a business mindset. Yes, skills are many, but then you may have the skill and still not succeed. All right. So it starts with the mind,
Yes.
deciding what you want to do, deciding to be that entrepreneur, and then your own geographical location, your own environment will determine what you pursue through and then become that great person you want to become. If the director, I might not want to go to directing and go into something else. Maybe engineering, like you mentioned, and become build my own business line around engineering. All right. So if I learn the skill of directing and then I apply it in engineering, it might not work for me. So you get it. So the point is your mindset first, accepting that this
Yes.
is what you want to do, and then finding what works for you, considering the environment, and of course, you know you can also always pick borders with the internet and what we all
Yes.
have right now. So thank you, Mr. I love your name very much, Hastings. All right, there's one more question. The man who talked about the documentary, he says this. Let me just highlight this. So this would be the name of, he gives the name of the documentary he wants to work on, and he would love to partner with you on this. So the question I simply ask is, how can they get across to you? How can people connect with you so that if they want to reach out to you for partnership like this, you know, how can they reach out to you? So what's your
Okay.
what's the social media link?
Of course, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, Twitter a bit, but you can just search Hastings Golosi, Hastings Golosi, Hago's expression. So I think after this, maybe the convener, you just need to maybe share. I don't know how best we can share my social media platform. I don't know, but also, what do you advise?
All right, no problem. We will just send that to me, you know, and then we'll
Okay.
put it up somehow,
Okay.
either on our
Okay.
page, on our community. So once you follow Icos, you get to see all the
Yes.
social media links that you can reach out to them. But let me ask, which of them are you most active on? I know there are many social media links. So
I'm
which of
more
them will you
active on Instagram and LinkedIn.
Instagram and LinkedIn? So you get it. So
Yes. Yes.
Oliver, Instagram and LinkedIn is where you can catch him. You know, that's the red hot zone where you can
So
get him and you.
so
Yeah.
you know what? So my dream is in 5 years from now, when somebody asks me how can we connect you, I'll just say just Google me. But I'm not yet there. So
That's it.
yeah,
Just Google me. Just
yeah,
go to Google and type my name and you get
yeah, yeah,
everything you need about me.
yeah, yeah.
All
5 years from
right.
now.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years is even too much. In less than that, your name is Google. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. But you can, if you wish, if there's a business WhatsApp contact you have, you want to drop, you can also do that so that we can have a business WhatsApp contact. If you have that, you can, if you want to share, you can also share that with us so that we can
Thank you.
reach out to them so that they can also get to contact you for only serious business. Not if you're not serious with this, not for jokes or not for catching fun, not for catching cruise. He doesn't have that time for that. But then, of course, when it's building capacities, building mentality, and raising the African youth, that is something he's passionate about, and he will give you all the listening ears that you require, even though he's a busy man. But then there's always space for helping others to grow. So thank you once more, Mr. Hastings Hago. Honestly, it was a nice time having you right here with us, and I'm sure we will still call you once more another time to share your dreams with us, and so that we can also dream along. Thank you for the video once more. It was quite inspiring. Yeah, it was very,
Thank
very
you.
inspiring. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
guys, this is where we would wrap things up for today. Thank you for being with us from start to finish. Thank you for all. I can see our ambassadors are also here. Thank you, ambassadors, for joining us. You know, we have ambassadors from Mozambique, we have the one from Morocco, Philippines, and all of Cameroon. They're all here. I can see them in the comment section. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for solidly being behind us. In fact, for being here, I'm going to play that video with once more of our ambassadors, because they are the ones who are flying this flag way beyond Africa, all right, and they're drawing the world to know that we are doing something great here. So this is for all our ambassadors. We salute you. We love your
Ready to accelerate. Come on.
All right. That's for our ambassadors for being a huge support to us and what we're doing here. Thank you for supporting the ICOS 2021. And all right, for everyone, we are wrapping up for today. Please and please, we'll continue tomorrow. Same time, 3 p.m. Nigerian time, West African time. Okay? So that's 15 GMT. All right. So whenever you are watching from across the world, work with that timing and see what it is in your own time. But for me here in Nigeria, it's 15 GMT. Yes, 3 p.m. prompt. We will continue tomorrow with the conference. We have more speakers lined up for you tomorrow. And just follow our ICOS page, follow us on Telegram, follow us on Facebook, and you'll get the link. Of course, it will be a different link that we're using to watch the live sessions for tomorrow. So just make sure you're there, 3 p.m. Nigerian time. We will continue with what we have for you. All right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. I'm sure the 2 hours 2 hours plus you spent here have not been a waste. You really gain value. And it's not enough for you to just listen. Implementing is where the crux of the matter is. When you listen and you gain knowledge, you believe you have to implement it for you to really enjoy the value of what you have gained. And I'm sure you will do that. Now all of us will be better for it. Thank you once more for your time. My name is Love Day. The convener remains Holly Sigabo. Thank you and see you tomorrow.